Hello, everybody. Thank you very much for joining me today. It's Alan Barry Labucan here from the Alan Barry Reports. I'm also the CEO of Advanced Gold Corp. I've got the website on the screen share at the moment. Today we have a pretty significant move in the price of gold and silver, and I'm going to start with that, and then then I'll start moving into the companies. Let's go right to the gold price. Here it is on FinViz. As you can see, the price it's down $113 today from, let's say, $20,040, and had just about, it had reached intraday near $2,100. That was a pretty spectacular move from these right around here at this 1720-ish level. It broke out, had some resistance at 1800, which tends to happen, and then it blasted off. So it takes a long time for people to get some confidence in the price of gold, and it takes a very short period for everybody to start looking for horrible case scenarios. And really, the fundamentals of what drove it up to that price haven't changed because of this correction. I think the correction is more of a realistic sort of backfilling, and was much needed. We were getting pretty long in the tooth on this rally here that started, let's say, back in early June until early August. So we had a couple month rally there, and I got a great group of companies to talk about today, that are going to, I think one can take advantage of this. Now, do I think that this is going to continue to go back down to that 1800 level and test that support level? I doubt it. But you always got to watch for these backfilling moments. I think this is a little overcooked today on the downside, so I'm expecting a pretty quick recovery. Let's go back to let's take a look at silver. Silver's getting punished as well, down 14% today to $25.12. And it, in fact, is at its last sort of resistance level, which you hope becomes the new support in a bull market. That's what we would expect to happen, and I do expect it to happen. Finding good silver stories, a little more difficult, but I've got one or two to talk about here today in the show. I just think that, the perfect storm that made for this big rally in the price of gold hasn't changed. You still got central bankers that are painted into corners where they're all trading, they all have interest rates near zero. You factor in inflation, they are below zero, and in real terms. And so that's one issue. You've got the countries all over the world, including the United States, running up tremendous debt at a rapid pace, going towards 25 trillion. And that's one of the reasons why I think the Federal Reserve is sort of painted into a corner. I can't really see them raising interest rates in any significant way. It would stop it could not just stop, but turn from growth to negative very rapidly with any significant interest rate hikes. So the Fed really isn't there to be able to support the US dollar with higher interest rates. And then you got economic challenges, you've got instability throughout the world, and the biggest arguments are supply and demand. On the supply side, you've got long-term weakness, head grades at mines going down, discovery grades going down. This all paints for a very weak supply chain. And then you've got central bankers all over the world buying it. The Chinese are buying it. The Indians are buying it. Investors all over the world are buying it. And I think that's a trend you're going to see continue. I think that most of these central bankers have to go back to somewhat of a gold standard, backing their currencies up with something, some reality And I don't think it stops there. I would recommend backing it up with silver, copper, nickel, all kinds of battery metals. There's a big shift coming where all of these electrification of everything is going to need a lot of raw materials to make the batteries work, to make the electricity get out to where it's needed. All of these things require nickel, copper, cobalt, lithium, just a tremendous amount of battery and related materials. And so I see a really good market coming ahead for gold, silver, and then other metals that'll follow. So right now, I think the focus should be on gold and silver. And on that front, I'm going to get on to some companies here. First of all, my company, Advanced Gold, we're drilling right now in Mexico on the Tabasqueña mine. It was formerly in production by Panoles. They left many years ago when the price of silver got beaten down. And we've gone in and we're trying to drill below the shallow workings to see where all the silver, the gold, the base metals are coming from. We've hit a very large sulfide system, and now we're trying to hone in on where we could find magma chambers that could have very large VMS deposits in them. So keep a close eye on Advanced Gold. We've got a very tight share structure, not a lot of stock out. And as I said, we're drilling right now. QCX is also a sponsor of the website. Give you a little pitch on them. They've got good people involved. They're in really good areas. One of those areas is where Azimut, I'm going to be talking about Azimut later, has a key ground, and these guys have a similar story. The guy who introduced me to the company is Kelly Malcolm, who is the VP Exploration at Amex. I'm also going to be talking about them a little bit later. And he's helping this company build up its asset base and help with the exploration. And Kelly's one of those really serious up and coming geologists. I think very highly of the work he does, has done with Amex. And I think that he'll continue to help QCX along that way as well. Go check out their corporate presentation. It will help you understand the company. And I'm really happy to have them on as a sponsor of the website. Here's the, I'm going to use, I use CEO.ca quite extensively, and I just wanted to show, usually I kind of have all the companies out there that I'm going to talk about, but today I did it a little differently. I'm going to show you how I use CEO.ca. Excuse me. I like the charts. They're nice and simple. I'm a simple chart kind of guy. Look for simple things like cup and handles. I look for when stocks have rising bottoms and rising tops. As you can see, is the case with Advanced Gold. They present the amount of shares out issued, and then the market cap based on the issued. How many shorts are out? In this case, 8,800. The total volume for the day, the average volume, and then this is their pro service where you can sign up and you can see the depth of market. I'm really impressed with the way they put this depth of market together, because it lays out all the bids and offers, gives you a bit of a historical representation, as well as the darker greens have been there longer, just like the darker reds. Those are the offers are on top, the bids are on the bottom. And for a company that, averages about 55,000 shares traded a day, it's got a pretty balanced sort of bids and offers. And so, these are the kind of things that I'm looking for. You can also find out the market size by price, by order, and then the recent trade. So it gives you lots of great details for under $100 a month. You can get all these details, and I think if you're, that could help you be more efficient in one trade, and it pays for itself. So if you're serious about exploration, CEO.ca, go check out their pro plan. I'm a user of it and a big fan of it, and I think you should check it out as well. Okay, so one of the companies that I wanted to talk about today is Vizsla. VZLA. I know their symbol, so I just plug it into the search. It brings up their site, 72 million shares out, $140 million market value. As you can see in the chart, it was a sleepy stock, under 70 cents here. I had talked about it a lot in here. Then it broke out and traded over $2.50. It's since come down. That's normal kind of action that you expect. As you can see on the depth of market, there's lots of buyers lining up and not too many sellers. I think that in addition to it coming off after a big move, the price of gold today has it down another 10%, and I think this is an excellent entry point. I don't think it's going to fill this gap down to, let's say, $1.20. Then the next gap down is like about 70 cents. I don't think it's going to fill either of those gaps. The quality of the projects that they have is just quite exceptional. Not too many Mag Silvers come along very often. Mag Silver has been a phenomenal company. They own 45% of their mine. They're worth over $1 billion. They're going to be one of the lowest cost silver producers. They're in Mexico where the costs are low. And Vizsla is like the early days of Mag Silver. They found some exceptionally high grade veins. Those veins look like it looks like they have a cluster of those veins. They're new veins. They're new discovery veins. They're not sort of checking out old ones. And I think that this could be the marquee silver exploration discovery play in the business right now. And if that's the case, I think they've got a lot higher to go, especially they also have high grade gold and silver. So, they get exposure to gold or silver going up quite aggressively, and that should help revalue their valuation. Plus, they've got a lot of work going on, which could be the catalyst to much higher prices. So that's this correction in the market for gold and the correction in Vizsla is creating a very good opportunity for investors. And I think it's time to load up some more on Vizsla. Another company I recently picked up on was Portofino. Portofino is, as you can see, 52 million shares out, 10 million valuation. They average about 113 a day. Currently trading at 19.5 cents. I think I picked it up down here at just under a dime. So they've been a good doubler, good pick. Nice bids building up, pretty soft on the offer. Let me go to their website. Another reason I like the CEO.ca website is they have here where I can easily go click and I'm on the website and I can do my homework. Recent news, they've received their drilling permit for their south of Otter Red Lake property. They mobilized the crew. Now that might slow down a little bit because there's a big forest fire happening in Red Lake, Ontario right now. And until they get that in good shape, I think that you might see a little bit of you will see slowdown in drilling out there. But it's a good one. I like what I see in this company. I like what I see in the chart. I could certainly come back and test this 12-cent sort of a gap. That wouldn't hurt my feelings. I think, for those buying at that price, as they get more catalyst, more drilling, I think we could see a nice recovery in the price of that stock. So this is one I don't think you have to be in a big hurry on due to the forest fire that's going to slow down drilling in Red Lake, but definitely one you want to own. BTU is another Red Lake play. BTU. BTU is their symbol. BTU is their name. BTU Metals. They had some news out that kind of caught my attention. What they talked about is they had been doing a series of surface sampling. And the key thing you want to look for in surface sampling is the number of pristine grains of gold relative to the amount of gold. I think they found about 150 or so. Here it is, 150 some grains, 156 total gold grains, of which 115 of them are in pristine condition. That means that they are not rounded from travel through glacial movement, or you can also see them ground through groundwater and rivers and stuff like that. But in this case, they've got 115 pristine grains. What that means is they come from a very close proximity from their bedrock source. So, you know, they're also in that area where Great Bear has made a discovery that turned them into almost $1 billion company. I really like what I'm seeing with this work that these guys at BTU are doing. They've got a well-situated ground, doing good work, finding some very interesting stuff. And with a valuation of 17 million, that puts them in the very cheap sort of end of the junior exploration front. And I like what I see with that company. Next one is a bigger company that many of you will have heard about many times on the past shows, Premier Gold. Premier Gold bottomed in March like a lot of gold stocks at about, let's say, 90 cents. Today it's trading at $2.52. The recent news is, as you can see, good bids built up, soft offers. What they're contemplating is a spin out of some of their US assets into a new company. They spin it out to the shareholders. Now, this gets done on a fair, you know, in some instances, but Premier has been very good at it. They were actually a spin out of Wolfden, the original Wolfden. There's a second Wolfden by the same people, but the original Wolfden was spun out, or Premier was spun out, and then Wolfden was bought out. And Premier has gone on to, I think on the first day of trading, I recommended it back several years ago. They were trading at about 70 cents. Since then, they've done some very good things with their various different projects. They've got a heck of a pipeline of projects, one of the most attractive that I can find out there. And you know, the reason companies do these spinouts is because they feel that they are not getting fair valuation for their assets. And so they want to spin out the South Arturo and the McCoy Cove properties. If you look on my YouTube channel, you can find some past interviews with Ewan Downey, who runs the company. And so I like this concept. I think it sends a serious message to the market that the company management doesn't feel like they're getting fair value for their assets. And if that was just anybody, well, it's just anybody. It's Ewan Downey. He's a smart guy in the mining sector. I like the sounds of this. I hope they go through with it. And you know, it's one you want to own on pullbacks, and we've got one here. So I like PG a lot. SMN, San Marco Resources, 43 million shares out, 11 million market cap. Had a good run from March until recently. It's given back some of those gains. I like them when they don't give back all of those gains, and it looks like it's on a new higher low here, and then ready for some more higher highs. They're getting ready to do some more work on their Buck property. They acquired some more land. It's a really interesting project that I think you want to take a look at. Let's go to the website, San Marco Corp, and let's just go to their news release section. Where is that? There we go, news. San Marco expands land position at flagship Buck property. San Marco updates exploration on its Buck gold silver property. San Marco oversubscribed $4 million flow-through private placement. So they got good funding support. They've got a good project that has had good results out in the past. I think this is the one with the past results. You'll have to go do your own homework on that, but they've got good results. That's why I follow them. And now they're expanding their land. So obviously they think they've got, they added 7,200 claims, so that they've increased it by 33%. They now have 22,000 hectares. Previous exploration done by the company geologists, good people involved. Bob Willis, smart guys, had lots of success in the mining business. And so there you go. San Marco, I think, is one you want to hold and let them do their work. I think highly of them as well. GNG is another in the Red Lake camp. They're farther to the south, and hopefully they're not too impacted by, well, I hope everybody's not too impacted by the fire they're having out there. But Golden Goliath sort of went from, let's say, 6.5 cents to 23 recently. It's given back some of those gains. I think that this is one, as you can see, good bids built up, not a lot of offers out there for sale. This is a perfect sort of one that I think could create a higher low. You want to be buying it in the higher low, which I think is right around here, to anywhere from 18.5 to maybe 15 cents. And then we can see the next leg up. I don't think this gold correction's lasting very long. In a bull market, you see higher highs and higher lows. On the correction, they tend to be short-lived. And I think that's exactly what you're going to see with silver and gold. So Golden Goliath has 21 million valuation, 117 million shares out. Not a lot of shorts out there. Looking very interesting. You might get a chance here. Well, there's the forest fires concerning everybody out in the Red Lake plays. So keep a close eye on it, and I think you can get yourself a good bargain here. SKE, here's another one that I really think is a must own for gold people. They're up in the, they've got 171 million shares out, 455 million valuation. So certainly not a cheap junior, but they're not cheap for a reason. They've got an exceptional project that was the big mine up there in the past in the Golden Triangle of British Columbia. They're revisiting some of the old mines there, and they're having some very good success. It looks like the key project is an open pit target. They can drill it year round. They've got lots of funding. They just did a deal with Barrick so that they get their 100% of that project. Barrick gets some cash and some stock. And if they, I think it's more of a when than if, they get this back into production. These are the kind of projects that could be real cash machines, and that's why they have this valuation. But on any weakness, I think it's one you want to own, and we're getting a little bit of that weakness right now. So if you don't own it already, you might want to take a look at owning it now. Amex Exploration. Everybody knows I've been following this one closely since back at 50 cents a share, way back here in late 2019. They hit, and I started picking them, and it's been pretty much up and away since then. They have an extremely exciting high-grade gold project. You know, I've seen other gold projects out there, and what really separates the good ones from the great ones is that continuity of the high grade. And in the case of continuity of the high grade, this company has one of the best exploration discoveries that I've seen in a long time. they can put a 10-gram cutoff on their high-grade zones, and it doesn't change the high-grade zones much at all. And they can even put a 20-gram cutoff on it. That is saying something in itself that I don't think a lot of people have really grasped onto. $221 million valuation, only 70 million shares out. And I think that this is a for sure buyout in the coming year or two, especially as gold goes higher. You just can't find many of these kind of projects. Amex Exploration on any weakness, again, this is one to own. We're kind of having that weakness today. So if you don't own it, you're going to want to. The next company is Mine, M-I-N-E, good symbol. Inomin Mines has 16.58 million shares out, 2.99 million valuation. There's a little more, these could be kind of hopeful offers. I don't know how serious they are when they're a few cents above, but there's good amount of bids on there. Just was a sleepy junior until, let's say, 6 weeks ago. They've come to life. We'll go to their website and I'll show you why they've come to life. On their news, on August the 4th, they announced that they're acquiring La Gitana and Pena Blanca. These are in Oaxaca, near Oaxaca City in Oaxaca Gold Silver Belt. They host several epithermal gold silver mines in that area and prospects. These are the, it's mag silver kind of story. That's what made, they're a low sulfidation epithermal vein in a good area. In the case of mag, they're up by Fresnillo, very famous mining camp. These guys are down in the Oaxaca gold silver mine belt. Look at all the mines around there. And then they've got these two projects. As you can zoom in, you can see that they've had gold and silver kicks on it before. They've got a network of veins. In these networks, you can find more. Look at just one after another there. One goes deep, and then where do the rest of them go? They got a lot of work here, but this is a very exciting project. I like Mexico a lot. Costs are low in Mexico. And these guys are still a sleepy, well, not a sleepy little junior anymore, but definitely a tiny market cap of 2.99 million. Definitely one I think you want to take a look at owning. WGO White Gold is a Sean Ryan company. I've talked about them several times when they were cheaper. They're not less cheap now. They're coming into their exploration season all around for their various different projects. Sean's a very smart mine finder guy, and he's trying to do it again. And he's got the backing of a couple majors and some big time investors. So they're well funded, good guy doing exploration. WGO's their symbol, 143 million valuation. They get some good joy this year, and you could see a 50 to 100% pop without any kind of problem. Next up is Fremont. Fremont is a new company that I recently picked just like a week ago. And I really like what I see. They've got a Nevada project. It's in a good jurisdiction. They're getting some good results. They only have 81 million shares out. That gives them a 10 million valuation. I'm going to try, instead of getting too much into it, I'm working on doing an interview with management because I had a phone chat and I really liked what I heard as far as they have a bit of an overhang based on some past financings. And the way it's been trading of late, I don't think it's going to take a lot to sort of clean out that overhang. And then they'll have catalysts with work and exploration to do. So the timing of this, I think it's fundamentally undervalued because of the warrant overhang. But I think that could change fairly quickly for this company. FRE is their symbol. Fremont is the name of the company, Fremont Gold. Apex, APX. Apex Resources. These guys made a lot of noise late last year when they hit some really good looking drill core. Then they disappointed. Then they went into the season where they don't do any work. And so, but recently they raised money. So now they can go back and do that follow-up work. 21 million shares out, 3.08 million valuation, tight stock, cheap valuation, work coming up. What else do I need to say? They've already delivered in the past. They learned more from that past drilling. Now they got more money to go in there and do another follow-up drilling. And I like their chances to make some big discoveries that could change the valuation quite dramatically. Next up is AZM. AZM is Azimut. AZM I had picked early before they made a big run-up. Then they made a big run-up, and now they're on half-price sale. And what caused that half-price sale is drill results. I think the market overshot on the downside those drill results. I think they're a lot better than what the market's giving them credit for, but they were probably priced to perfection. Just hold on a second. My dog seems to want to visit me. Hey, enough, sweetie. That's the trouble with doing shows from home. My dogs are out in the background. I hope you can't hear them too, but Azimut is on half price sale. Really great projects, and I think you're going to want to own that. On that note, I'm going to wrap it up because my dog's just going to drive everybody crazy. But do your homework. Speak with your financial advisors before making any investment decisions. Look for more shows. I'll have more coming up real soon. Take care and have a great day.